Yeah, I think that's the problem. And, but you're absolutely right to worry about the wrecking ball, but I think we've kind of taken a wrecking ball to that. There's no solely in the statute, all right? And we're talking about individuals. But Javits changed Title IX, and it said, sports are different. And we've got these regulations that have been out there for 50 plus years. And, normally Skidmore kind of comes in there. Forget about the spending clause, I guess, but maybe I'll ask you about that too. Well, why doesn't that make this case very different than Title VII?
Yeah, so I completely agree. The Javits Amendment is what makes this different from Title VII, and I'm very happy with however this decision comes out to have a decision that's focused specifically on the unique context of athletics as opposed to these broad arguments about Bostock applying to Title IX as a general matter. But I guess what I'd say is the regulations still require equal athletic opportunity. It's not a complete exception for sex-separated teams.
Yeah, but Javits says it can be reasonable.
Yes.
And do you dispute that the Hugh regulation that's been on the books for 50 plus years is reasonable?
I think it is absolutely reasonable as applied to cisgender students. I think that as applied to transgender students, instead of providing them equal overall opportunity, it's a complete exclusion from the program. And so that's our argument, that it's reasonable as applied in the context of cisgender people, but interpreting the regulations to authorize this sort of categorical exclusion that doesn't give B.P.J. an equal set of opportunities to choose from would be an unreasonable way to implement Title IX.
Okay, gotcha.
It's unreasonable as to all transgender students?
No, I think it's a combination. I think so. A reasonableness test, I think that requires some sort of ends means fit, and I think that exists when it comes to cisgender students. I think what makes B.P.J.'s case differently from a cisgender student is two things. First, she doesn't have any of the physiological distinctions that justify the sex separation in the first place. And second of all, the harm to her is of a material different kind. It's one thing to say, we're not gonna let boys play volleyball because they have all these other sports to choose from, or we're not gonna let girls play football because they have all these other sports to choose from. It's another thing to say, you don't get any sports.